Let me get this working straight. Okay. Well, things may be going all right. We'll have to take each time about the house. Works out, works out. Anyway, if you are in the vicinity of the Joshua Tree Jail, please don't hesitate, stop, help them protest, because changes need to be changed. You know, it takes somebody with compassion to notice that all those inmates that killed themselves had mental issues. Mine and my husband's nephew included. They knew prior to even booking him. His mother, I'm sure, she told the officers that picked him up, he needs medicine, he needs help, he needs whatever you guys can do. And to me, they were responsible because he was in their custody, not my in-laws, not his parents. And people are making remarks about, well, it's the parents' fault and stuff like that. No, it's not the parents' fault. What is at fault, is when somebody with mental problems is put on suicide watch because they're threatening to kill themselves. That means you do your job, you go and you take care of it. And you don't wait 2 days after the child. Well, yes, he was a grown man, but that was their child. You don't wait any amount of time in telling them, we're sorry, your child is gone. It's not an easy thing to tell a parent, but you know what? They could have used a little more tactic, the way they do when they're telling the wives of officers that have been killed in the line of duty. And I know, most of those, the inmates are criminals. Not all of them are. Some of them went in over stuff that had to do with mental issue. That means they had an illness. And they need to change the system to where if somebody is threatening killing themselves, then they need to be evaluated and they need to be watched. And if there's medication that needs to be given, they need to give it to them. They don't need to just ignore the pleas and begs of people like my nephew did. From day one he was in there, he begged, he pleaded, he needed his medicine, he needed help. They wouldn't do it. And for all of you out there that are saying, well, he made his mind up to do that. When somebody has a mental problem, mental illness is what I'm talking about. They're not in the right mind. Some hear voices, some don't. But depression can get you that far. I've been through, a lot of the depression. A lot of people don't know I've been through depression. Even my own family members don't know. I've been going through a lot of depression. But I sought help without them knowing because, hey, they had their own things going on. So, I'm not saying all sheriffs and all police officers that work for inside the jail system or the prison system are bad. Some of them are very helpful and very caring towards the inmates, even though the inmates are, in most part, criminals. That's not the one. The ones I'm complaining about is the ones that don't care. We're supposed to take care of each other. And yeah, criminals, some of them are pretty bad. And the ones that are in there for life and over 20 years and stuff like that, that committed heinous crimes such as rape and murder and, killing a child, whatever, those type of crimes, that's a little more different. But in this case, my nephew didn't actually commit a crime. He was supposed to act a certain way when interacting with his parents. I can't remember what it's called, but, you know, they had no choice to call, because the guy was over 21 years old, so you can't force him to go into, you know, a facility like the hospital to get a 72-hour thing. This is what people aren't understanding. You know, if he says no to Enya, you know, then they have to do their own thing, because you can't force a person to seek medical help when you're an adult. It's different if he was under 21. He was a child still, but he was a grown man. But he still was somebody's child, somebody's uncle, somebody's brother, somebody's cousin, somebody's friend. You know, he was someone, you know, he had a life, and he should have been able to get the help he needed. His life mattered, so did the others. So if you wish, stand by and put hashtag Joshua, justice for Joshua. That's what I've been doing. Justice for Mr. Mendoza. Justice for Mr. Simmons and all the other ones that have committed suicide because their pleas were ignored. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe down there below, and the bell's right next to it. Make sure you get that so you can get notifications. Alright, bye.